Hi everyone, welcome back to another history video. Welcome back to another history video with me. I now do history content videos. Through this year, we are going to be doing British monarchs and up until September. In September, I think I'll start doing some French monarchs and how the British monarchs are related to the French monarchs. But in today's video, guys, I was supposed to be making part 7, but I decided that my last week's video, I did part 6, and I talked about King Henry VIII's 6 wives. Go check out that video, which I made last week. Today, we are going to be talking about Frederick Prince of Wales, who did not get the title king. He was the eldest son of King George II, and they did not get along well. He married Augusta of Saxe-Gotha, a German. He is 81% German, 12% French, and 6.20... Well, no, let's try it again. He is 81.25% German, 12.5% French, and 6.25% Scottish. That means he can speak 3 different languages: German, French, and Scottish. And his wife, Augusta of Saxe-Gotha, is 100% German. She can actually speak German. But because since George II and Frederick did not get along, they badmouthed each other constantly. His mother was Caroline of Ansbach, another German. His grandfather is actually King George I, George II's only father. And his grandmother was Sophia Dorothea of Celle, George's mother and also George I's ex-wife, because obviously they both got divorced in 94. So I have my own research on Frederick, Prince of Wales. Obviously, he became the Prince of Wales, while George II became the king after his father's death in 1727. Frederick, Prince of Wales, Frederick Louis, which is in German, is Friedrich Ludwig, was born on the 31st of January, 1707, and died on the 31st of March, 1751. He was the eldest son and heir apparent of King George II of Great Britain. Yeah, because he was heir apparent because he was going to be the next in line to the throne, but he died 9 years before the king did. He grew estranged from his parents, King George and Queen Caroline. Frederick was the father of King George III. That's right, because when Frederick when Frederick married Augusta of Saxe-Gotha, they had 9 children. One of them was George III, and he was the son of Frederick, Prince of Wales. This portrait was by Jacopo and Mongi, and we don't know what year this was painted in because it has not been confirmed. He was born on the 31st of January, 1707, in Hanover, the Holy Roman Empire in Germany. Yes, he was also born in Hanover like his father and his grandfather. He died on the 31st of March, 1751, at the age of 44, in Leicester House in London. He was buried on the 13th of April, 1751, in Westminster Abbey. He married Princess Augusta of Saxe-Gotha in 1736. They had 9 children. Augusta, Duchess of Brunswick, Wolfenbüttel, George III, Prince Edward, Duke of York and Aberley, Prince Elizabeth, Prince William Henry, Duke of Gloucester and Edinburgh, Prince Henry, Duke of Cumberland and Strathern, Princess Louisa, Prince Frederick after him, and Caroline Matilda, Queen of Denmark and Norway. Then his names were Frederick Louis, and in German is French Ludwig. Yes, that is a funny name. He is in the House of Hanover because George I and that's his grandfather, and George II also belong in this house. His father was King George II of Great Britain, and his mother was Queen Caroline of Ansbach. Under the Act of Settlement passed by the English Parliament in 1701, Frederick was fourth in the line of succession to the British throne at birth, after his great-grandmother, Sophia, Dowager Electress of Hanover, his grandfather, George, Prince Elector of Hanover, and his father, George. The Elector ascended the British throne in 1714 after his grandfather died and his father became king in 1727. Frederick moved to Great Britain and was created Prince of Wales in 1729. He predeceased his father, however, and upon the latter's death in 1760, the throne passed to Frederick's eldest son, George III. Let's look at his early life. This was Prince Frederick in around 1720. Prince Frederick Louis was born on the 31st of January 1707 in Hanover in the Holy Roman Empire in Germany as Duke Friedrich Ludwig of Brunswick-Luneburg to Caroline. Brunswick-Luneburg is also another word of Hanover, which was mentioned in one of the videos. To Caroline of Ansbach and Prince George, son of George, Elector of Hanover. That's his grandfather. The Elector was also one of Frederick's two godfathers, as well as the son of Sophia of Hanover, granddaughter of James VI and first cousin, once removed, and heir presumptive to Queen Anne of Great Britain. However, Sophia died before Anne in June 1714, when aged 83, which evaluated the Elector of heir presumptive. Queen Anne died on the 1st of August the same year, and Sophia's son became King George I. This made Frederick's father first in line to the British throne, and Frederick himself second in line. Frederick's other godfather was his great-uncle, Frederick I, king in Prussia and Elector of Brunsburg, Prussia. Frederick was nicknamed Griff within the family. In the year of Anne's death and the coronation of George I, Frederick's parents, George, Prince of Wales, later George II, and Caroline of Ansbach, were called upon to leave Hanover for Great Britain when Frederick was only 7 years old. He was left in the care of his great-uncle, Ernest Augustus, Prince Bishop of Onassaburg, and did not see his parents again for 14 years. In 1722, Frederick was inoculated against smallpox by Charles Maitland on the instructions of his mother, Caroline. His grandfather, George I, created him Duke of Edinburgh, Marquess of the Isles of Ely, Earl of Eltham in the county of Kent, Viscount of Lancaster in the county of Cornwall, and Baron of Sundon in the county of Carnarvon, on the 26th of July, 1726. The later two titles have been interpreted differently since. The oaths are omitted and Sundon referred as Snowdon. Frederick arrived in Great Britain in 1728, the year after his father became King George II. By then, George and Caroline had several younger children, and Frederick was a high-spirited young man, fond of drinking, gambling, and women. The long separation had damaged the relationship with his parents, and they would never be close to him. That year also saw the foundation of Fredericksburg, Bulgaria, which was named after him. His other namesakes are Prince Frederick, Maryland, 1722, Fort Frederick, Maine, 1729-30, Fort Frederick, South Carolina, 1730-34, Fort Frederick, New York, It was completed in 1735, and Fort Fredericia, Georgia, was founded in 1736, while Fort Frederick, Maryland, Point Frederick, Edmonton, Fort Frederick, Oronto, and Fort Frederick, New Brunswick were also named after him, presumptively. Cool. I didn't even know. What about him as being the Prince of Wales? The Prince of Wales around 1733 with his sisters Anne, Caroline, and Amelia. And this is a portrait by Philip Macria, was painted in 1736. Now we have to talk about him. Why did he become the Prince of Wales? The motives of the ill feeling between Frederick and his parents may have included the fact that he had been set up by his grandfather, even as a small child, as a representative of the House of Hanover, and was used to suicide over official occasions in the absence of his parents. He was not permitted to go to Great Britain until after his father took the throne as George II on the 11th of June 1727. This was the same year as his grandfather George I died of a stroke. Frederick had continued to be known as Prince French Ludwig of Hanover, with his British HRH style, even after his father had been created Prince of Wales. Frederick was created Prince of Wales on the 7th of January 1729. He served as the 10th Chancellor of the University of Dublin from 1728 to 1751, and a portrait of him still enjoys a commanding position in the hall of Trinity College, Dublin. Once established in London, Frederick sponsored a court of opposition politicians. They supported the opera of the nobility in Lincoln's Inn Fields as a rival to George Frederick Handel's royally sponsored opera as the King's Theatre in the Haymarket. Frederick was a lover of music who played the violin and cello. He is decapitated playing a cello in 3 portraits by Philippe Macria of Frederick and his sisters. He enjoyed the natural sciences and the arts and became a thorn in the side of his parents, making a point of opposing them in everything. According to the court gossip, Lord Hervey, at court, the favourite of George II and Queen Caroline was Frederick's younger brother, Prince William, Duke of Cumberland, to the extent that the king looked into ways of splitting his domains so that Frederick would succeed only in Britain, while Hanover will go to William. Hervey and Frederick used a pseudonym. Captain Brodkin wrote a theatrical comedy which was staged at the Drury Lane Theatre in October 1731. It was panned by the critics, and even the theatre's manager thought it so bad that it was unlikely to play out even the first night. He had soldiers stationed in the audience to maintain order, and when the play flopped, the audience were given their money back. Hervey and Frederick also shared a mistress, Anne Vane, who had a son called Frederick Vane in June 1732. Either of them or William Stanhope, 1st Earl of Harrington, also another of her lovers, could have been the father. Jealousy between Frederick and Hervey may have contributed to a breach, and their friendship ended. Hervey later wrote bitterly that Frederick was false, never having the least hesitation in telling any lie that served his present purpose. And now let's look how he died. This was by mourning the death of the Prince of Wales in 1751. This was painted. This is around 1751. His political ambitions unfriended Frederick died at Leicester House at the age of 44 on the 31st of March 1751. In the past, this had been attributed to a burst lung abscess caused by a blow from of a cricket or a real tennis ball, but it is now thought to have been from a pulmonary embolism. He was buried at Westminster Abbey on the 13th of April 1751. He is the most recent Prince of Wales not to have acceded to the British throne. The Prince of Wales Imgrim quoted by William Makepeace, Frederick 4 Georges. Here lies poor Fred, who was alive and is dead. Had it been his father, I much rather. Had it been his sister, nobody would have missed her. Had it been his brother, still better than another. Had it been the whole generation, so much better for the nation. But since it is Fred who was alive and is dead, there is no more to be sad. And I think that will be it. Basically, because since Frederick did not became became King Frederick, I think he was supposed to be Frederick II or Frederick I of Great Britain. But then after, when he died, George II died, and then George III became king after George, because obviously when Frederick died in 1750, when did his wife died? And then also, she was also the princess. She was Princess of Wales because she became the Princess of Wales when she married Frederick Prince of Wales. Because in a video from History Tea Time, she made a video, she made 2-part videos. One part was about the Princess of Wales. The other half was the Princesses of Wales. So it would show you, we know Catherine of Aragon was a Princess of Wales. She became the Princess of Wales when she married Prince Arthur, who became the Prince of Wales. Well, Arthur, Prince of Wales, the oldest son of Henry VII and Queen Elizabeth of York. And that, I don't know how she became the Princess of Wales. Another theory is that Caroline of Ansbach was also a Princess of Wales because her husband George II became Prince of Wales, whilst George I, his father, became king. And obviously Frederick, George II's eldest son, became Prince of Wales. His wife, Augusta of Saxe-Gotha, also was known as a Princess of Wales. George III also became Prince of Wales, the eldest son of Frederick, Prince of Wales. And his wife, Queen Charlotte of Mecklenburg-Strelitz, also became Princess of Wales. George IV became Prince of Wales, Frederick's grandson. And also William IV, but I'm not sure. William IV was probably the only one that was not granted the title Prince of Wales, and his wife Caroline of Brunswick was also granted Princess of Wales. Now, princess was not used until 1643 during the reign of Louis XIV of France, the cousin of Charles II and James II and VII. And obviously he had 2 people as cousins because they were both first cousin and second cousin. Don't know if that makes sense or not. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I'm not sure if part 7 will come out this week. I don't know. If it's not, I think I might do another video. I think for my next video, we're going to be talking about Frederick's wife, Augusta of Saxe-Gotha. Or we can do Princess Charlotte of Mecklenburg-Strelitz. It is up to me, but in other words, I think part 7 will come out. It depends if I am in the mood to do part 7. So I hope you guys did like this video. Please leave a like and subscribe for more history content videos, and I'll see you guys for part 7.